Welcome to Gay-Friendly Britain, home of the civil partnership, anti-homophobia legislation, and openly gay police, politicians, and teachers?
Faggot. Sicko.
Gay boy.
Dyke.
Lezzy.
Fudge packer.
Banger.
According to a survey by Teacher Support Network, 4 out of 5 teachers have suffered homophobic abuse at work. So what's life really like for gay teachers?
It only takes one person to make your life hell. That person can be a student, it can be a teacher, it can be a parent, it can be a governor, it can be a visiting Ofsted inspector. It doesn't have to be in your face, it doesn't have to be graffiti. It can be very subtle and it can be pernicious.
I think what's stopping a lot of gay teachers from being out is fear of retribution from the children. Basically, you can be out to your colleagues, but still not be out to your class group.
Ben Miskell is a secondary school teacher in Manchester. He's out to colleagues, but is struggling to come out to his class, and is hoping recording his thoughts will help.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm going to do a video diary to talk about my experiences because I'm a newly qualified teacher, but I'm also a gay teacher. Between me leaving school and teacher training and going back into school, I thought that things might have changed because society's really moved on. But actually the reality is that schools are quite difficult. Schools are still quite homophobic places.
David Watkins moved to London to further his career as a special needs teacher.
I thought, wow, I'm working in a school in London. They're going to be really diverse, but actually the opposite was true. It was that I came up with the most homophobia that I'd witnessed. When I met the head for the first time, it was very difficult to get her to listen to my point of view, and she was very hostile to the idea of challenging homophobia. And that was really when I very quickly discovered that homophobia isn't just something that you experience from pupils. We were doing an anti-bullying week. And I looked at all forms of bullying, racist bullying disabled people, sexist bullying, bullying religions, faith, and homophobia. I remember she objected very strongly to an image I showed of 2 men kissing. It wasn't an erotic sexual kiss, it was just I think it was just a peck on the lips. She also made other comments to me during the term about the fact that that I inflamed some of the students' homophobia by the way I walked in the corridors. She didn't expand upon that, but she did then say, "But you didn't walk that way during an interview." So I don't know whether she was trying to say I had some kind of mince or something that the kids were so horrified with when they saw me that they couldn't help but be homophobic, so disgusted with the way I was mincing down the corridor. And I never thought I had a mince or anything, but no one's ever said that to me before. I just felt very vulnerable at work, and I didn't know who to trust. I felt like I was being watched all the time. I started to feel paranoid. What are people thinking about me? I didn't want to go into work. It was fraught with insecurity. I mean, friends were outraged about the whole thing. And I used to chew their ear off all the time about it. I was so disillusioned. I was so excited to come to London to start this new job, and I was so devastated when my worst fears were realised.
Homophobia can come as a shock in today's society, where the gay community no longer have to hide.
Hi, it's the weekend, and I'm just taking you on a bit of a tour of Manchester. The city where I am living at the moment, and the city where I'm teaching near as well. Manchester's a really gay place to be, actually. It's a really great place to be a gay person. This is Canal Street. It's part of Manchester's gay village, and it's quite big. It's got lots of bars on each side. There are literally thousands upon thousands of gay people in Manchester, and that's a great thing. But times do have to change, because only with that change, I think, are we going to get kids' lives in school, especially gay kids' lives in school, becoming a lot better, and also teachers who happen to be gay as well. Their experience is going to be better. So hopefully things are changing, and around Manchester you can see it, but it's just slow sometimes.
But for David Watkins, the situation didn't improve, and 6 months into his new job in London, things came to a head.
One of the kids asked me one day if I was married, and I said, no, I'm not. And they said, well, why, sir? And I said, well, because I'm gay and, you know, I don't want to get married to a woman. She had a big problem with that. She said to me, why, David, why do they need to know about your private life? I said, well, it's not my private life. It's my identity, it's who I am. It's who I am in my house, it's who I am at the coffee shop, it's who I am in the supermarket, it's my life, it's who I am at work, you know? I knew that what she'd said had so totally crossed the line, and I had to say to her, I'm going to have to stop you. What you're saying to me is extremely homophobic. I find it very offensive, and I'm going to have to call my union rep in if we're going to discuss anything further.
After months of meetings with the union legal team, David took his school to tribunal.
The week before we went to tribunal, I was offered a sum of money on Monday, and I said, you know, no, I don't want it. And then the Tuesday that doubled, and then the Wednesday that increased by another £2,000, and then the Friday it doubled again. And you could tell that they were getting worried, you know. And I said, no, I don't want it. I just want people to know what happened. I just want someone to recognise what happened and say, yes, it was homophobia. We finally agreed on a settlement which didn't include a gagging order, so I was able to speak about it, which was the best thing. That's the only thing I wanted. I got a full apology from the governors.
David fought for his rights and won.
I later was told that I was the first teacher in the UK to actually go to the full tribunal hearing using the sexual orientation regulations, because you see in the past teachers had settled out of court, but what that meant was that they couldn't speak about it, you see. And I thought, well, there's no point in me going through all this stress to not tell anybody about it and not let teachers know that they can make a difference. It's cold. It falls from the sky.
David has moved on and now teaches at Swiss Cottage School in North London.
Is it a real word?
Yeah.
Can you give it to Lucas then?
I thought I'd take the opportunity, just as I'm going down in the lift and on my way to work, to tell you a bit about what happened yesterday at school. Now, sometimes I generally find that kids, being kids, ask you quite personal questions. And one of the things that one of the kids did ask me after looking at a poster on the wall, he said, "Sir, are you actually gay?" And I'm a bit ashamed, to be honest with myself. I fudged the answer, really. I said, well, would it matter if I was gay, if I was black, white, straight, big or tall or slim? Actually, it wouldn't. And to his credit, the kid said, no, sir, of course it wouldn't matter whatsoever. But really, if I want to be a role model, like teachers really are, then really, I think it's really important that actually I am honest with the kids. And I do intend to come out to the kids, but maybe in my NQT year, I don't feel yet confident enough.
One teacher not lacking in confidence is Ellie Barnes.
Hello! Yoo-hoo! I'm here! Lovely to see you. The word tolerate. Oh, we tolerate gay people here. Do you? You tolerate them, or you just put up with them, do you? No! We don't tolerate, we celebrate!
Ellie is the music teacher and head of Year 9 at Stoke Newington School in North London.
Off we go and A, E, E, A, C, B, E, them.
She's been tackling homophobia since she started at the school.
Well, I started off because it was just getting really irritating and really annoying. Like in lessons, kids were just saying the most ridiculous things. You know, shouting batty boy at each other. And if anything ridiculous happened, if a kid turned around and just went at another one, it'd be like, oh, stop being so gay. And you're like, do you know what this word means? No. We just use it as part of our culture. That's our street talk. That's part of our youth culture. And that was my starting point, really, was getting the kids to understand that the language they were using was wrong. So the first one, lesbian. Explain to me, what is a lesbian?
She started celebrating lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender History Month as a whole school initiative 3 years ago.
Community. And we're talking something like about 15% of the community. So let's have a little look around. 240 people in here. What's 15% of that? It's not a statutory requirement in schools to do LGBT History Month. I think it should be. We need to start that in primary schools, and that when the kids come to us in secondary school, it's not a problem anymore. They've heard these words, you know, from a very young age. The staff here have been absolutely amazing, because everyone knows it's wrong to be homophobic, but just don't know how to go about it, you know. So as we've gone on, lots of members of staff have done projects within their departments. Oh, who said that posh word? Give me the definition of that word then.
A repeated like melody over the top.
Fantastic. So brilliant. So they know now that they don't use the word gay, and if they do, the other kids will back me. I don't have to say anything anymore, which is fantastic, because another student will jump in and go, all right, you're not using that word.
Hello and welcome to Stonington School! L, G, B and T. I really believe that one day everyone will be equal and the world will be fair. Being homophobic, yeah, is just like being racist. So by tackling homophobia, hopefully we'll tackle sexism, racism, you know, culturalism, if that's such a thing. If you're against someone loving someone of the same sex, then that's just bad, because we need love in the world, not hate.
1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, G, F, 3.
Whilst Ellie and her colleagues have made progress at Stoke Newington School, for Ben back in Manchester, things are at a much earlier stage.
Today, what I've been doing is just keeping a bit of a running tally today, just of how many times kids say, oh, this is gay or that's gay. It really, really, really does drive me absolutely insane, and it is really difficult to challenge all the time. I try and question them a bit, try and use humour a bit, but also say to them that, is that pen really gay? Is it a man who likes another man? Is that calculator actually gay? Just because it doesn't work? Is it bad? Does that mean that being gay is bad? Would we say the same thing about black people, about Asian people, about Jewish people, about Muslims, Christians, Jews? You wouldn't, would you? And generally that gets the kids talking.
When your album is ready.
Yes, oh my gosh, basically I'm really excited because I've written about 5 songs already that I've written like loads of songs, but 5 songs.
Challenging homophobic language helps gay students feel safe too.
You're creating an environment where you're making it comfortable for the gay students to come out, but you're also at the same time educating everyone else around them.
I sort of knew from about age of 12, 13 that I was gay, and then everyone sort of knew because everyone said I was sort of obvious, but it was never confirmed for anyone. And then when the LGBT come around and Miss asked me to do performances, and it made me much more confident within myself, and I was just like, okay, I'm gay, I'm proud, and Miss has just been really, really, really supportive.
36 people in this room are L, G, B or T.
This year's LGBT History Month has been a particular success.
Let's try one more time. It's the first year that staff have felt comfortable to come out, and they've emailed me and told me that they've come out to their tutor groups, and the reaction has been nothing but supportive.